Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jen and I am the founder and creator of Law Hero. And if you want to know more about Law Hero, just go to my website. So you may have heard the famous quote from Jim Rohn, which says that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And this is very true when you're beginning your career. I think we all have this kind of mindset initially. It's probably cultivated from being in university, that we kind of have to do it on our own. But especially when you go into a traineeship or you are being trained professionally, it really is impossible because there are tips and tricks that are just not written down in books. And when you look at some of the most successful people now, one person who comes to mind is Trump. I mean, he learned everything about business from his father. If you don't have a parent in the legal profession, who do you go to, or what can you do? So firstly, thank you very much for coming here, because I would like to think of this channel as a type of virtual mentorship. Because I don't really have exposure to trainees anymore, it's difficult for me to pass on my knowledge, and I thought doing that through Law Hero is just a very good way of sharing what I have. And I'm so thankful to the people who shared their knowledge with me initially, and that was by way of kind of older solicitors, or associate solicitors as they're called in the law firm, taking a liking to you and just teaching you as much as they can about the profession. And to be honest with you, without it, you're going to have a really hard time. You just can't Google everything, and that's the whole point of trying to get a mentorship. Another reason why it's important to have mentors is because they may become your clients down the line, and they also become part of your professional network. So you won't always be in that law firm, or you won't always be in that line of business, but those contacts you've built up, they'll help you down the line. This has certainly happened to me. People who mentored me in the early stages of my career have become allies going forward, and likewise when I went in-house, those people who mentored me are the people I would turn to still for advice. So it's not just a short-term learning process when you're becoming a trainee, but it's also for the length and breadth of your career. They are a network of professional support. Now, how do you actually treat this relationship? So this is kind of interesting, because I have had mentors where we got on very well as people, but you kind of have to be careful not to overdo it with the questions. You don't want to upset people, you don't want to turn people off you. So my advice to you would be to ask questions, but don't ask too many. Try and figure some stuff out for yourself, or try and figure it out for yourself and bring them the solution, so it doesn't look like you're just being lazy. If you're constantly just running every time you have a problem, that's not going to create a good impression, and that person isn't going to want to be associated with you down the line. So you have to treat the mentorship with great respect, as well as don't be afraid to give your opinion. Sometimes these people are coming from a different mindset or a different time. They might have had a certain way of doing things, and it's okay to challenge them. You don't have to just sit down and take everything what they say for gospel. You can also have your own opinion, and that's really important as well, because they'll learn from you, and a lot of the time they love to see young people coming in and having their own ideas. Like any relationship, it needs to be fostered. There needs to be some give and take. So I found a great way of solidifying a relationship is in doing favors for these people. So for example, a few times I was asked, or we as trainees were collectively asked, to do some things that weren't so nice, and I volunteered just by way of thanks actually to those people who had looked after me. And they don't forget that kind of thing. So it's a give and take relationship. The other thing as well is, like, on a personal level, if you notice that your mentor is upset, or and you know them for a few months or even a year, and you've built up that kind of personal bond with them, like, say, is everything okay? Like, how are your kids? Or how's life? Is everything all right? Because you'll be very surprised when you're in a professional relationship like that, you spend so much time with people, you get very quick at reading people. And I've been in a few situations before with my mentors where, I don't know, I've noticed that their mood is off, or because you spend so much time with them. And hey everybody, I totally forgot to finish this video properly, but I hope you gained some value from it. Just foster your mentorship relationship. Don't take it for granted, because it is extremely important in your training. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.